What's up, everybody? Oh, I did the what's up, everybody. Oh, pain. Growth on Twitch is hard. So what we're gonna talk about today are 5 tips that new or just starting streamers can use to grow their Twitch channel in 2020. Let's dive in. So here's your secret sauce tip of the week. Is if you're sending out messages and you have a limited amount of time, the most effective time to send out messages is almost right before you go live. And you want to send these messages on Discord because it's a forum where people are commonly contacted one-on-one. So when they go to respond to your message, they'll probably see that you're live and they'll probably come to your stream. Oh, and if you're unfamiliar with the secret sauce tips, you're gonna find at least one secret sauce tip in each video that I make. I'll try and sling something in there that is immediately beneficial to whatever you're doing on streaming. If you found that tip useful or even partially useful, I do ask that you hit that like thing down there. I'm just getting started out and it will really, really help. So if you're anything like me, you're probably wondering, why the heck should I listen to this dude? Well, for starters, I've been streaming for 4 years. I've been partnered for 2 of them. And I got to partnership without having used YouTube. But if you use YouTube too, it'll probably be faster. Oh, and I did it all by playing games. I spent very little time in the Just Chatting directory, the IRL directory. Like you guys, I spent the last 4 years learning everything that I could on the subject of both Twitch and YouTube. So these are a few of the books that I've read and books that I recommend. Understand what it was like to be a struggling streamer, and I'm just ahead of where you are now. And those are the people that you want to be taking advice from because they've had the same struggles and thought the same things during the same period of time on the platform that you're using. It's really hard to take advice from somebody who did all of their growing on a platform, 5-6 years ago, because the platform 5 and 6 years ago was totally different than it is now. Tip number 1 is you gotta talk to people. So I don't just mean talk to people in your chat. What I mean is talk to people outside of chat. Talk to people when you don't have to be talking to people. Talk to them on social media and actually take an interest in the person that you're communicating with. So in the book, Jack Schaefer talks about 4 different factors for influencing whether somebody likes you or not, and none of them involve your personality, although those things do help. The first is duration, the second is frequency, the third is proximity, and the fourth is intensity. So we're gonna talk about all of them. The first one, duration, very simple. It's just how long you spend talking to somebody. This could be on Discord, this could be on Twitter, this could be in your stream. But remember, when people attend your stream, that's dependent on their activity versus your activity. You're making the stream and they may or may not show up. So the second one is frequency, and frequency just means how often you talk to or interact with a specific person. The more frequently you interact with a specific person, the more likely they're going to be familiar with you and they're going to get to know you. Proximity is the third one, and proximity is twofold. Number 1 is the physical closeness with you or a person. Say somebody you work with, say somebody you talk to on a daily basis, go to school with, have a group project with, family members. These are all people who you are physically exposed to that you're more likely to end up having some kind of social connection with. And the second part of proximity is actually proximity in situation or proximity in demographics. Now, I'm pretty old. I'm old enough to understand where this Green Ranger, Power Ranger helmet came from, right? But there's a lot of people out there that probably will know nothing about what this thing is or why it's significant to me. People of a similar age to myself and had similar likes growing up are naturally going to have more in common. This extends to other life events as well, like where were you during 9/11? Where were you during coronavirus? Where were you during, the Teletubbies? How old you are is just one demographic that ensures that you actually have something in common with another completely random human being that might wander into your stream. Oh yeah, and this totally extends to other demographics as well. If you share a demographic with somebody, you're probably going to have something in common with them. The last factor that he talks about in this book is intensity. Now, intensity can be many things, but mostly it's how active or how memorable was the situation where you interacted with this person. Playing a game together is a favorite one in the gaming space. Playing a game together is usually a very memorable experience, especially if somebody has respect for a streamer and they think the streamer's time is really, really valuable and really, really limited, and they really want to play a game with them. Proximity is going to play into target demographics, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, but it's important to figure out what you have in common with people, and commonalities obviously are going to affect how much somebody likes you. And to the point of intensity, you can control how intense your interactions with people usually are. Again, when you're a small streamer, it's really important that you reach out to other people because you have control over who you're contacting and you have control over what you're doing with your time. And the other thing with these 4 factors is that they all take place over durations of time. And the emphasis on this is really on regular interaction or long interaction. Based on the amount of time that you're exposed to somebody, they will get used to your personality. The longer you spend with somebody, the less that first impression will matter. When you have these multiple touch points with people over time, they're actually going to get a feel for your real personality, regardless of what your first interaction with them was. Now, a lot of us are awkward during our first meetings with people. I know I am. I know that's the time in a relationship where I'm gonna be the most weird. And what remedies all of that is time and multiple touch points and being able to talk to these people so that they actually care and forgive some of that awkwardness on the initial first meeting. This is totally key. And I will tell you, as a streamer for 4 years and being partnered for 2 of them, that almost all of the people that have been following me for about 3 to 4 years now, almost all of them I've talked to on a personal basis, versus the vast majority of the people that I hadn't been able to talk to. Those people tend to filter in and out much faster than the people that get to know you a little bit. Oh, and the last point about talking to people, don't just talk to everybody indiscriminately. I mean, do be friendly and do be cordial, but it doesn't mean go out and strike up conversations with people that you know you have nothing in common with. It means go out, strike up conversations with people who share the same interests as you. And, a couple really good places to do this are video game forums, other channels that stream the same kind of content in the same vibe that you stream it, or a place like Reddit where you have different subforums that are of all different kinds. They have a subforum for otters. Just otters. Don't spend all of your time making content without talking to people. And especially when you're small, it's going to be far more important that you establish personal relationships with people than anything else. Tip number 2, being weird is better than trying to be the best. So Twitch does this thing where whoever's the best at something is seen as number 1, or number 1 is seen as the best at something. And this largely has to do with your numbers and how many people are there. As a small streamer, it's really hard to compete on being the best unless you win like some kind of major tournament, or maybe the game you play doesn't even offer any kind of tournament. So it's really hard to prove that you're the best or the most knowledgeable without the numbers to back it up. This is a concept called social proof. And what it is the bigger the number is, or the bigger the line is, or the more people upvoted on Amazon, the more people are likely to repeat the behavior because they perceive it as being safe. So one of the most important things that you could do as a small streamer that doesn't rely on numbers for people believing you're the best or the greatest or anything else, is to just be different. Be like him. People remember him. Don't be like this one. People know that's the norm. And the norm sticks out less than this guy right here. Seriously, when you're a small creator, it's a lot easier to be unique or go out of your way to make sure you're not doing everything in a category that everybody else is doing, because it becomes much harder to distinguish yourself. Say you have a bushel of apples and you asked somebody to pick out one apple, and then they were to throw that apple back into a pile of all of those apples. Would you be able to pick out that apple? Probably not. You don't remember what that apple was like because it's so similar to all of the other apples. And streaming works largely the same way. If you've ever navigated a directory, if you've ever looked at all of the thumbnails, they're all pretty much the same. Every once in a while, one pops out. If, half the screen is a face, or, it has funky colors. This isn't even that distinguishing anymore because so many people have used backlighting. I should revisit this. Okay, that's something. We're on the second point, right? Right. Cool. This is actually a really hard tip to give for beginning streamers, new streamers, or streamers who aren't seeing the kind of growth that they really want, which for everybody is really explosive growth. We could talk more about explosive growth in a future series, but explosive growth can actually be damaging to your brand and your current community. So about being unique, it's very, very, very difficult to find something that you're doing that no other streamer on Twitch is doing. Now, that's actually not such a big deal because streamers tend to exist within different silos on Twitch. So one person might be playing horror games, another streamer might be doing. If a friend of yours plays a specific role in a game and you think, oh man, I watched this streamer that only plays that role, and your friend says, man, I really wish I knew how to do this, or they encounter anybody else in the world who says, I wish I knew how to do this very specific thing better, that stream gets recommended because they're the subject matter expert and they've built a brand around being that subject matter expert on that thing. You're gonna find as you stream more and more, it doesn't really matter if you're an expert on something if nobody knows you're an expert on something. So I'm sure you can all think of different streams that are very, very unique. Dr. Disrespect, the Sushi Dragon, my buddy Digital Psychosis, who runs a Star Trek stream. These are all very unique types of broadcasters that you can't see anywhere else on Twitch. And they have a very, very, very specific and different way of presenting content than everybody else in their niche. Especially since you're starting out, I don't expect you to know what this thing is going to be at the very beginning, but I do suggest experimenting while you're small, because experimenting when you already have an audience is a little terrifying. Tip number 3, very depressing. Don't expect help, because Twitch isn't going to do it for you. Other streamers aren't probably going to be able to do it for you. And the help that you do receive, while you should be very appreciative of it, and any word of mouth you should absolutely be grateful for, when it all comes down to it at the end of the day, it's not the help that's going to make you succeed or not. It's actually your own effort. So there are literally millions of other streamers out there, and Twitch doesn't even have enough front page time within a 24-hour period to help all of them, for sure. This is stacked against a new streamer in terms of getting any exposure from the platform itself. The platform itself isn't searchable, and not only that, but its recommended streams are not always recommended very well. Twitch constantly recommends me streams that have over 1,000 viewers, and I don't go to any streams that have over 1,000 viewers. But those things aside, there's a more practical reason to not expect help. And that is, if you don't get help and you don't expect help, then there's no reason to feel disappointed in your journey as a streamer. It might seem like, in the larger channels, they have a billion moderators who are all making clips, and, there's channel art being made for a channel, and there's all these different things happening. And if you expect that to happen and it doesn't, that can lead to disappointment, and that can lead to burnout very quickly. If you just expect to have to do everything on your own, and you do day after day, just perform and perform and perform, and then somebody comes along and helps you, well, then that's a huge bonus and it's a reason to feel happy. And if you've ever felt disappointed by this, or you've ever felt disappointed by the fact that you're finding out that discoverability is incredibly difficult on Twitch, if that thing is getting under your skin and you're expecting more from a platform that you're putting your life and soul and tons of time into, it's okay to feel that way. But I'm going to tell you that having that expectation is going to hurt you in the long run. Ooh, I forgot to change the number. No. Tip number 4. Focus on your audience. So I see this mistake a lot with new streamers in that they just want to stream what they want to stream, and they feel like, they don't want to watch a stream where, people are just streaming for viewers. And I'm just going to tell you right now, people stream for their viewers. It's a lot easier to just not hit the go button and go live and just stream for yourself. Inherently in streaming, you're always streaming for an audience. Otherwise, why have a camera? Why have you guys sitting on the other side of that computer right there? There's no point. If you just wanted to play video games for yourself, you wouldn't hit that go live button. Not only that, there's also a whole bunch of behaviors that people are already engaging in that are for their audience that I guess for whatever reason they don't realize is for their audience. And one of those behaviors is how their stream overlay is actually laid out. The stream overlay isn't something a streamer looks at during their stream. It's not something that exists for us. It's something that is there for everyone else. But people have already started down the path of making their stream look and sound good enough for people to be engaged without, considering that that was catering to their audience. And that's a really good thing. That's where it all starts, is how do I make my stream look good so people watch it? And that's really the first question you start asking. And then it starts you down this rabbit hole of, how do I make things better? How do I become a better entertainer? What kind of things do I have to practice on a daily basis where I can figure out, how to grip somebody in that first 15 seconds they come into the stream so that they never ever leave. And as an audience member, I love that. I would rather watch somebody that's more concerned with getting us hyped up and providing an experience for somebody else rather than somebody that's just, interested in playing something only for them and doing things that are only for them and not considering their audience. So that's the tip, is just pay attention to your audience and focus on your audience. Focusing on your audience doesn't mean playing games for the views. It means being honest with yourself about what you want out of your stream. And if you just want views and that's the thing that's going to make you happiest, and you can play something that's going to lighten your personality and attract people to you, then that's going to be the thing that you want to do. But all you have to do is be honest about what you want out of your stream. You're not a bad person if you're streaming and you want more people in your channel, and you pick your games based off of a balance of where people are going to see you and what you think you could provide value to them doing. Oh, right. Earlier, I said we were going to talk about demographics. When you know what your demographics are, that lets you focus on your audience easier. Now, understanding all of your demographics allows you to talk about things that are shared experiences. Like before, I made the allusion to this Power Rangers helmet. And before, I talked about where were you during coronavirus. Now, these are things that we've all experienced because we've been alive at the same time. I'm dating myself a little bit on these things, but I'm speaking to a very specific demographic that knows what we're talking about. You can do that too, and it shows that you're in touch and in tune with people that share experiences with you. All right, I'm gonna make one more book recommendation for you. And it's this one, The Thank You Economy by Gary Vee. Now, in this book, he talks about one tenet, and one tenet that's basically more important than any other thing in any other piece of content that you could possibly imagine. And that's this: care more. So Gary Vee's book is focused on small businesses and smaller entrepreneurs who are just starting out. And as new streamers, that's you. And what he talks about when he says care more, what he means by that is the business that cares more about their customers is going to be the one that gets repeat business. And as streamers, this is actually applicable to us because when you're small, they're coming to you basically because they want somebody to talk to. And that's why people typically navigate to the bottom of the directory to find new streamers, is they're looking for personal interaction. Huh? Chat's dead. Don't be that person. When people navigate to the bottom of the directory, they're looking for that personal interaction. And actually, it's incredibly rare to have people that browse to the bottom of the directory because when somebody's looking for personal interaction and they finally find one of those small streams that's a hidden gem, and they finally get somebody to talk to, well, there's no reason to keep looking. So when somebody's browsing, eventually they're going to stop, especially if they find somebody who's on at a regular time that they're normally live on Twitch. When you care more about audience interaction than the people that are like this, you win. And caring extends to more than just your on-stream presence. It extends to off-stream too. Our first tip was that you should talk to people, and this ties into that. Now, are you more likely to be concerned with somebody who never sends you a DM, or be more concerned with somebody who just sent you really cool information that's hot off the press for their favorite game? You're more likely to interact with the person and care about the person who interacts with you more, right? You know, they felt you were important enough to have a conversation with unprompted. Those are the 5 tips, but quickly I want to do a recap and I want to give you actionable advice that you can use to adjust your behavior to be better at all of these things. And then you can start measuring your success after you've implemented all these things and see if it helped. Our first tip, talk more. So what I want you to do is go out and talk to 5 people on Discord today. I don't care what you talk to them about. You're probably going to reach out to people you already know. You might reach out to somebody that you don't know that well, but share an article or something. Share with them something funny, send them a meme, but have some kind of basis for conversation with them and see how that turns out. Do that once a day, every day, just 5 people. It'll probably take you 5 minutes or less to do. And it's actually going to improve your stream so much, and it's going to improve your relationships with people, which is actually going to enhance your life way more. Oh, and also, on this list, that takes care of duration and frequency. Proximity, you're gonna learn passively. You're gonna learn what you have in common with people. But intensity, once a week, I want you to invite people to play a game with you. Just once, maybe a group of people, maybe 4 people, maybe just 1. But invite people to come play something with you. Doesn't have to be on stream, could be off stream. And see how that builds your relationships with people. Tip number 2, you know what? There. Tip number 2, recap. An actionable thing that you could do to be different than everybody else is actually just go into the directory that you normally stream in, see what everybody else is doing, take notes. So take the top 5, take the top 10 streams and write down all of the things that these streams are doing for their content. You're gonna find that a lot of them are probably the same and they're probably pretty generic compared to the rest of Twitch. When you start doing that, you can distinguish what you can do differently to stand out from that crowd. Tip number 3, don't expect help. Something actionable you could do to take control of whether you're having expectations on when you should have help or not is just keep a little journal, keep something around. It lets you write down or express how you're feeling, and then I want you to think about why you feel that way. And if you find that expectation is driving a negative feeling, then I want to encourage you to not have those expectations or find a way to let go of having those expectations. And once you realize that, once you could put a box around that thing that's not making you feel awesome and excited to be on stream, then you can separate yourself from that idea and you no longer have to think about it. All right. Tip number 4 was How do you focus on your audience? If you want to focus on your audience, something actionable that you could do is just start writing down who your audience members are and what their interests are. Now, invariably, that people will eventually come to your stream and talk about specific things. And you're probably going to get a feel for what they like or don't like. And you could start with that, but just start writing down who your audience members are and what they're interested in. And it's going to give you a better idea of what kind of content that you should provide to them. And knowing what your audience likes and dislikes is going to inform how you should communicate with them going forward. Do you send them an article on, this new topic that came out, this new development in science because you know this person is really into NASA? Or do you send them this meme on their favorite Dragon Ball thing because you know they're really into Dragon Ball? It's going to inform how you communicate with them, and it's going to make things easier in the future. And the last tip is care more. And I don't have any actionable things to tell you about because everything that we've been talking about has been about caring more. And all I want you to do with this tip is realize that when you care more than the person next to you or the 57 streamers that are next to you in the directory, when you care more, people are naturally going to want to be around you because people are conditioned to want to be around other people that care about them. That's actually how we survived as a species for so long. We hang around people that care about whether we're alive or dead. Okay, so there's a surprise 6th tip in here, and I know a lot of new streamers and a lot of struggling streamers or streamers that haven't seen the amount of success that they would love to see have difficulty with is keep talking without getting stuck. And this is an actionable thing that you can create that will help you keep talking more. So I want you to create something called a conversation resume. And your conversation resume is almost exactly what it sounds like. It is a list of topics that you can talk about at any time. Very quickly, I want you to write down the 5 top most unique experiences you've ever had. Next, I want you to write down 5 current events that actually matter to you. Then I want you to write down 5 things that were really embarrassing from your childhood that you don't mind talking about with strangers. Write down your 5 favorite movie characters and write down the movies they're from. Write down 5 vacations that you've been on during your life and what you thought of those vacations. 5 favorite books. 5 things you're an expert on. Write down what your feelings on positivity and negativity are, and then write them down in the comments below there. And I'll actually share with you my opinion on positivity and negativity, and it's very simple. It's that both are illusions and neither matter as long as you're continuing to pursue your goals. If they help your goals, great. If they're not helping your goals, worse. But I do believe there is such a thing. Obviously, negativity can be toxic, but I also believe there is an extreme form of positivity that is also toxic, and that I define as positivity that is so positive that I'm not comfortable expressing any other opinion that's not positive around a person or around a place. Or the fear people will stop interacting if I say anything that is not positive. And that's bullshit. All I want to do is be around people that I want to be around, and I want to be able to say the things that bother me. I want to be able to say the things that I like, but I don't want to be forced into a very specific box of only being able to say positive things ever. Sometimes negativity needs to be acknowledged. Otherwise, how are we ever going to know that something needs to change? However, it's very important that that's not an excuse to whine about something and not take action on it. That's it. That's all I got for you guys this week. Next week, we're going to do a whole new video on 5 technical tips for new streamers to get started. Stay tuned. And thank you. If you guys liked any of these tips, one, multiple, or if you just want to see more content or I made you laugh in some way, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you, and I will see you next week. All right, now get out of here. I gotta go stream.